Hey everybody, it's Brandon Doherty, Delaware Weather Guy, and Hurricane Ida is about to make landfall on the Gulf Coast, and specifically in central uh, Louisiana, and basically right, slamming right into just west of New Orleans. But um, let me take you through why this area is so vulnerable to hurricanes. Okay, so first, this is a wildlife preserve in down by the literally down by the bayou of Louisiana. And if I were to take a more extensive aerial view of this, I just want to give you kind of like a visual of what this area, how low to sea level this area is. And I'm kind of peering back. So this is a wildlife preserve, and this is at the very end of the Louisiana looks like an L, right? So this is the end of that, and this is the sorry Paz Lutri State Wildlife Area. So and then the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, there's no barrier. There's no barrier here, folks. It's just all water and land. I don't know why I'm in so much trouble. Okay. Okay. Stop. Okay. So now let's focus on why an area like New Orleans is so vulnerable to these kinds of storms. Well, let me give you a real shocking graphic here. Okay. I'm going to go up. Okay. So this is this is a image of the city of New Orleans, and it's a heat map. And so it's showing you the elevation of parts of the city. So, dead center of the city, we are looking at -5 to -6, um, 6, -6 feet below sea level. So they are actually in the negatives. I've never really seen a city that's in that that extreme negative. Actually, the parts of Louisiana, I mean New Orleans, that are higher elevated are along the Mississippi River, and but yet that's like 4 to 7 feet above sea level. And then here we have Lake Pontchartrain. Okay, so Lake Pontchartrain is the water. So here is the back end of the city where the levees are, and this is -7. The storm surge for Ida is supposed to be 10 to 15 feet. And in Lake Pontchartrain, it's supposed to be I think they just upgraded, 7 to 10 feet. Okay, so what you're going to have is water coming over, just billowing over. Nothing's going to stop it. The levees will. The levees will stop it. But what you're going to have is the overflow of that. Okay? So that all going to go in. And New Orleans is a bowl. So all the water is just going to sit there. And it's just going to surround the city. I mean, this is what happened in Katrina is the city withstood the Katrina. You just had fractures in the levees, which caused them to crumble, and you had the inundation of water just come right into the city. You had nothing to stop it. So, the city itself withstood Katrina's rage, but then you had the levees just start to feed in the water, feed into the city, and a day or two after the city thought it had escaped the wrath of Katrina, they started filling with water. It couldn't stop. So these levees are going to get a real good test here. So back to Google Earth. Okay, so you're going to have a hurricane that basically comes anything. I'm just going to go. Draw a line. Okay, so the main surge is going to come right here from the center in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. All right. On the eastern side flank here is where the quote worst of the flooding and the winds are. Okay, on this eastern northeastern side. Okay, so they're going to push all this water right up to Lake Pontchartrain, and it's going to overflow. It's just plain old going to overflow. And what we're hoping for, obviously, is that these levees hold. That there's going to be this destruction. That's not exactly brain rocket science guess, but you're going to have water pushing from the south, and you're going to have water pushing from the north, where Lake Pontchartrain is, and that's going to overflow, and you're going to see, you're going to see not not you're going to see terrible flooding. You're going to see just awful flooding. Okay, and these areas are the most vulnerable. These parishes right here to that Seabrook. Well, any parish named Seabrook, uh, you're in trouble. And then the airport's here. So these areas are especially vulnerable because they're obviously first ones to get floodwaters from Lake Pontchartrain. What you hope, what the hope is that there's no breach anywhere along the levee lines, and you just have your flooding issues, which then will drain back into the Mississippi and the Gulf. All right. So I just wanted to take you through the geography of this area and explain why this area is just it's a hotbed. I mean, if I let me put Pigman down. This is actually a bridge. Okay. Now let me do it closer to New Orleans because then you can see it. You can see the city. Okay. So this is the bridge this is like the expressway that leads into um, the city of New Orleans. Actually, I'm going to get a little bit closer than this. mean, you could see how the Mississippi River just like bypasses the whole city. Once you reach the Mississippi River, you're essentially in New Orleans Parish. So this stretch of road leads you right out of New Orleans to that area of the Gulf. So maybe put here. But the fact remains, New Orleans is so low to sea level, you can't. So way back here is the city, but the city is so low to sea level. Actually, this is higher. So this is like what? This is probably like 5 feet above sea level. Well, New Orleans is sitting -6, so it's below. It's below this. Oh, city planners in New Orleans when they built the city, what were they thinking? We don't know. All right, so that's just a little geography lesson for everybody, which I'm sure if you're from that area, you know very well. But all we can do is hope and pray that Ida comes in and comes out, and you know maybe it comes in with a little less energy than it's doing right now. But keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. All right, Brandon Doherty, Del Weather Guy saying adios.